Get ready to challenge what you thought you knew. Don't miss an episode of the truth within the Bible. Your journey to enlightenment starts now.
Welcome back, my friends. Today's video will cover Jeremiah chapter 47. Before we get there, let's do our quick recap to catch us up. Chapter 46 begins a section of prophecies against foreign nations. Chapters 46 through 51, starting with judgment on Egypt. It focuses on Egypt's defeat and humiliation, tied to historical events looking back now, but delivered then as divine prophecy. The overall message is God sovereignly judges proud nations, like Egypt, for their arrogance and opposition, using Babylon, which was Nebuchadnezzar then in the prophecy, but Satan, the coming Antichrist, now for today's prophecy, as his instrument. But he preserves a faithful remnant of Israel with discipline, not total destruction. It's a vivid reminder of God's control over history and his special care for his people. And also what is coming in our not-so-distant future. So let's get back into the prophecy with chapter 47, verse 1.
The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines, before that Pharaoh smote Gaza.
This verse sets the stage for a message of inevitable doom on Israel's old foes, dated to a precise pre-event moment, before Pharaoh Necho's attack on Gaza approximately 609 to 605 BC. Proving God's word is true, timely, and unstoppable. The chapter today has to do with the future as much as the history, and it has to do with Gaza. With all the trouble we have in Gaza today, you would take heed if you were wise, and listen carefully. Verse 2.
Thus saith the Lord, Behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land and all that is therein, the city and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl.
Verse 3.
At the noise of the stamping of the hoofs of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, and at the rumbling of his wheels, the fathers shall not look back to their children for feebleness of hands.
They will be helpless to even help their own children. And this looks to the end time, when the false one comes. They can't help their children because they're deceived also. They will all think that the Antichrist is the true Christ because they're ignorant of God's truth. Verse 4.
Because of the day that cometh to spoil all the Philistines, and to cut off from Tyrus and Zidon every helper that remaineth. For the Lord will spoil the Philistines, the remnant of the country of Caphtor.
Tyrus is the main camp of the Kenites. It was a great trade center, Tyrus and Zidon, and Tyrus of course means rock, but that's not our rock. Verse 5.
Baldness is come upon Gaza. Ashkelon is cut off with the remnant of their valley. How long wilt thou cut thyself?
Baldness signifies sadness. And what are they cutting themselves on? That two-edged sword. As it is written in both Corinthians and Revelation, Christ's tongue is that two-edged sword, the truth that cuts both ways. So they are in sadness, going against that two-edged sword, the truth, going against God and cutting themselves off. Verse 6.
O thou sword of the Lord, how long will it be ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into thy scabbard, rest, and be still.
Verse 7 to finish the chapter.
How can it be quiet, seeing the Lord hath given it a charge against Ashkelon, and against the seashore? There hath he appointed it.
The chapter closes on a note of inevitability and divine sovereignty. No amount of pleading or horror can halt what God has decreed. The Philistines, longtime oppressors of Israel, also known as Hamas and Gaza, will face complete judgment through Babylon. And they did, just as other nations do in Jeremiah's oracles in these chapters, 46 to 51. The sword cannot rest or be quiet because God himself has commanded it. God has ordained this judgment. It's not random or temporary. It's divinely scheduled and unstoppable until God's purpose is fulfilled. This is also the prophecy for the end times. The Antichrist is coming. Yes, we always pray for the nations, but we need to pray that God's will be done. Why would you pray against something God has ordained? Know the truth. You are not the one God is angry at. So be active, not reactive. Don't wait for things to happen, then try and react to it. Bring as many people over to God as you can and enjoy the show. The whole thing is mapped out right here in the Bible, so you do not fear. Be a watcher and warn others while you can. If you can save just one soul, you have done something amazing. That's a wrap for today, guys. But don't miss any of the Jeremiah videos coming up, as they are all chock full of prophecy. Until then, stay strong, my friends.